Hi everyone and welcome to this tutorial on JMARS 5. So this is an exciting tutorial because we have pushed the JMARS beta to JMARS 5 and I'm going to try to show you some of the cool changes we've made in the new interface. So the first thing I want to show you is that this is JMARS public. And on the left-hand side in your layer manager, it loads with 6 different layers when you first start up. If you don't want these to load or you want different ones to load, there's a neat thing you can do by going to File and select Startup Layers. So say you wanted to see certain layers every time you open JMARS, you can just add the layers to Layer Manager and they will show up in the Save Layers. You click the layers you want to save, and then every time you open JMARS, those layers will load. If you get to the point where you don't want those to load anymore, you just want default, you can actually go into your JMARS file where you downloaded JMARS, and there will be a JMARS startup JLF file in there. You just have to delete it, and then you will go back to this default layer load. The next thing you'll notice in Layer Manager is this section that says Overlays. If you open Overlays up, you'll see that there's a couple more layers under there. These are all your cartography layers, so you can turn these on or off, and they will always be under your overlays. At the top, where you see Layers, there's a plus button and 3 dots. These 3 dots are on this layers and each layer in the Layer Manager, and these are called your shortcuts. So on layers, you'll see that you can open, remove, dock, etc. On the Add Layer one, if you click it, these are shortcuts to your custom maps, shape layer, crater, counting, 3D, advanced map layer, and favorites. So if you just clicked this, it would open your favorites tab. The plus button is our new Add Layer button. You're going to click there and you'll see that there's 4 different tabs here. The first tab is your search browser, so you can come in here and say you're looking for a map and all you know is that it starts with MOLA. You can start typing it and it'll put everything in there that we think you're looking for. You can also search by name, instrument, category, etc. You just click one of these or type it out and then say the name of your map. It'll come up with some. Then you can click them and it'll add to your layer manager. If you want to escape there, you can clear that out or press escape to get out of there. You'll notice on each layer in here, there's an information button that gives you a little bit of description for each layer and a star. So the empty star is, it means it's not your favorite. If you click it, you just made that layer your favorite layer. So if you went down to the favorites tab, you'll see all the layers that you put stars on. So it's basically an easy access to these layers, which is really nice. The next tab after search is browse. This is your traditional browse layer that we had in JMARS 4. So it's the same thing. You just go to the category you want and then the subcategory and look for the map that you want. The next tab is custom maps. This is your shortcut to all your custom maps, which is really nice because you can easily access them. You can even make one of these your favorite. So if you're using it a lot, you can just make it your favorite and get easy access to it. You can close either at the top or the bottom. One thing I wanted to show you is if you just add a layer, it keeps the add new layer dialog open. But if you want it to close every time you select a layer automatically, you can go to the Options tab and you can see this Auto Close Add Layer. So I have mine selected because every time I want to add a layer, I want this entire dialog to go away. So I'll give you an example. In the Options tab, you also have the ability to hide the M and P icons. You can turn those off if you don't want to see them. Another thing you can see in the options is this new thing called Coordinates Order. So right at the top of the JMARS dialog window, you can see lat long, and it gives you your lat long in north and east. If you wanted to switch that to long lat, you can do so. Speaking of coordinates, we want to go down to the bottom left-hand side. You can see that it says eccentric and then it has coordinate points. These coordinate points are the same with your mouse, but you'll notice now that it says eccentric. So most of our bodies work in an ocentric geographic system. If you go to Earth, we use an ographic coordinate system. So this was just added to add clarity. If you go to the Earth body, you can see that you can see your mouse points in both ographic and ocentric. We've made some enhancements to other layers also. I'm going to delete this with my shortcut. and go to Custom Maps. So if you haven't seen the new Custom Map Manager, this is it. You have your upload processing in your existing tabs. This will be made into another video separately. And then if you go to existing, this is how you would add and share different maps. So like I said, this will be in its own video. One cool functionality that we've added is if you right-click a map, you can share it, add it, delete it, but you can also reprocess it. So say you added a map and you put in your coordinate points 10 north and 8 south, and you really meant to put 11 north. You can come in and reprocess the map by just editing your information and say reprocess. So that's really nice. You don't have to go through the entire upload system again. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see that it shows you your center projection. So I'm currently at 0, 0, but if I moved up and then I recentered, you can see that my center projection has changed, but it's labeled it for you, which is nice also. Well, that's it for this tutorial. I just wanted to give you an overview of some main things that have changed in case you want to walk through it. We're still making enhancements to JMARS 5 and we'll continue to add new tools and make enhancements as we go. We're all really excited about JMARS 5 and I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for joining me.